Ierusalem surge et sta in excelso et vide iucunditatem quae veniet tibi adeo tuo.
Here in the second week of Advent, Jerusalem is issued a series of commands. Rise, surge, stand, sta. The first two commands rise toward the highest notes in the piece. And then the third command, si, vide. These notes descend back down as if to see and stand up and look about you. The dawn from on high has broken upon you, Jerusalem, and its light, the light of this joy, iucunditatem, illuminates everything from the highest to the lowest. Nothing is left out. These words from the prophet Baruch ring to us today. Baruch was the disciple of the prophet Jeremiah, and he witnessed firsthand the destruction of the same city, Jerusalem, by the Babylonians in 586 BC. So the question arises, where does his confidence come from? Where is this certainty, this hope that allows him to issue these commands, rise, stand, see? In the verses just before the one sung for the Communio, Baruch says to Jerusalem, "For God will show all the earth your splendor. You will be named by God forever the peace of justice, the glory of God's worship." The name Ierusalem means foundation of peace. By reminding the holy city of God's people that God is the one who called them into being, who named them, through whom his peace and victory will enter the world, Baruch helps them to recall that the existence of God's people does not depend upon human strategies and power, even in the face of destruction and rubble, what appears to be defeat. But instead it depends upon God's election, upon his choice and the promise that has been made to us. So Baruch tells us to stand and wait upon the fulfillment of that promise made to us, the promise that is our very existence and the existence of God's people whom we belong to. He tells us to let Advent educate us to wait for the joy which only God can bring, adeo tuo, at the end of the chant. Joy that only God can bring, the experience of something totally unexpected and gratuitous, and yet fulfills everything we waited for. Baruch could not have imagined that over 500 years later, after he said this joy would definitively come into the world in the leap of a child in a young girl's womb. Who could have imagined that this is how God would visit his people, his holy city, that he would build a new city, a new history, a new people, by visiting and taking flesh in the womb of Mary of Nazareth. So today let us stand up again, look up from our own designs, our own ruins, and look with confidence to the joy, the fulfillment that only God brings about in the advent of his presence.
Ierusalem surge et sta in excelso et vide iucunditatem quae veniet tibi adeo